Hello everybody. Well, those of you who know me really well knows that I have a love for cars, and it's like the best thing in life is cars and coffee. So we go to, on this episode, it's going to be the traveling feature where we're going to go to Hershey, Pennsylvania to visit the Antique Automobile Club of America, or AACA for short. Now they have cars from all eras, from the 20s to the teens, like 1910, even some from the 1800s, which were basically motorized carriages, all the way to modern day cars from the 80s and 90s. I even seen a 1994, was it a 94 Saturn? So any of these cars is, especially the 80s era. If you guys watched my audition, well, for those of you who were at my audition to be a live stream host, I'm going to be uploading that audition to this channel so that others can enjoy it who might not have seen it or might not even see me on the live streams or whatever. So that will be uploaded soon. But we're going to go to Hershey, Pennsylvania to the AACA, and there was a hidden gem in this museum. Not one, not two, but three. And even if you want to count four, a replica that wasn't real. But I would love to even have the replica. Guys, this is one of my dream cars that I know I will never own, that I came across and I've always wanted to see in person. And I got to see not one, not two, but three. So without further ado, let's take a look. '87. '53 Ford. The reason they quit making those is these right here are stupid. They quit making them because GM switched to front-wheel drive cars. These were highly sought after because that's what the FBI and all that used because of their power. So Chrysler Imperial, 1974. It resembles the Lincoln Continental town car. We haven't even made it inside yet. We have not even made it inside yet. 1970 Plymouth. '36 Packard. 1914. Oh wow, look at that, guys. These are a lot bigger than what they look like. They are a lot bigger than modern day cars, actually. 1927 Dodge. This is the car museum over by Hershey, by the Hershey's plant in Hershey, Pennsylvania. 1934 Buick. It's an Imperial. Ah, looky here, guys. 1959 Corvette. Nice, nice, nice. Some of these you might recognize, like this Geo Metro here, for instance. It's more modern. More modern type car. 86 Dodge Daytona. Sweet. Love the cars from the 80s. get a better look at the Geo here. It's a 1993. Oh, here's a 64 Studebaker. You can see it's a little bit bigger. This is an Avanti. Oh, this is the Avanti. Okay, so this is a very unique car, guys. Very, very unique. Because it was made by Studebaker, but it's the Avanti, and literally 18 months, built for 18 months. Nice, nice. These are just some of the highlights for the museum. This is the style of Corvette that I really love. It's a 78 Chevy Corvette. Well, of course, Corvette's made by Chevy, but apparently this one was used as an official pace car during the Indy 500. You can see it on the side there. 1978 Corvette. That's an American Eagle right there. 85 AMC Eagle, all-wheel drive. Those cars were real prominent in the mountainous areas like, oh, I don't know, Montana and around. Olds Cutlass. Oh, here's an 84 Corvette. If you guys were present for my audition, you'll know that the 83 Corvette, which was just before this one, looked just like this. Only they never made the 83 Corvette. They just made the prototypes. They never did release to the public. But there's the 84. And here's a 39 Rolls Royce. Wow. Still looks beautiful, don't it? Still looks elegant. But the steering wheel's on the right hand side. Nice, nice, nice. 59 Caddy. '61 Chrysler. Oh my God. I've never seen one in real life. It is a Tucker. 1948 Tucker. Yes, 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 yes. Oh my gosh. Look at that, guys. 51 was made. There are only 47 in existence. And they have, oh my gosh. This one was used in the movie. 1988, they made a film called Tucker, the Man in His Dream. And this one was actually used in that movie. Look at that. Wow, unbelievable. Yeah, there's the movie. I saw the movie, it was really good. So this is the movie car.
This is a reproduction Tucker that they made for the movie.
Nice, nice, nice.
This is the first Tucker ever made.
Oh, that's the number one Tucker
This
ever?
is the number one Tucker.
Wow.
The first one off the assembly line.
You guys are lucky. You don't know how lucky you are.
I know.
Really?
51 were made,
Mhm.
47 still exist today, and that's the only one in existence with an automatic transmission.
Oh, no doubt. Wow. The only one with an automatic transmission left, guys. That's so beautiful. Yeah, I've never seen one in real life,
Well, now you have.
but I know all about them, but I have never seen one in
Have
real.
you seen the movie?
Yes.
Oh, isn't
I
that
loved the
wonderful, that
movie. Yes, it was really good. Does that model actually show the light moving?
Yes.
Oh, I'll have. They had 3 headlights. The middle one would turn with the wheel. Let's see what it looks like from behind the wheel.
2 hours later, he was back at the station with a reception. Bernhardt had just remembered that his car was in the garage being repaired.
Yeah, you can see how.
They came here from the station and completely rebuffed the at 1 a.m.
That's awesome. Yeah, you can see how it moved around. Yeah, unbelievable. She watches the Tucker display like a hawk. Which is good. I mean, shoot, there's only 47 in existence. They're multi-million-dollar cars now. But no. Okay. Here's where the motor looks like, guys. It was mounted in the rear on these Tuckers, and you can even see the grill is in the back for airflow. You see the radiator right there? Yeah, that's the Tucker for you. 1948 Tucker. Amazing. Amazing. So this is the movie car used in the movie, which was a reproduction, but I would still love to have the reproduction even. Love the Tuckers. Thought you guys might be interested in how the doors opened. This is a model, you know, but you can see that the back ones were suicide doors, they call them. Yeah. That's how you enter it. Look real close, see those. I think that was for the doors, those pulleys. You can see it's a pulley and a cable. Isn't it? Yeah, I believe that's for the doors. Really simple compared to how things are nowadays, huh?
Breaks down. Somebody's going to take care of you.
That's beautiful. 1928 Pierce Arrow.
The bright work here is what's called German silver, which really isn't silver. It's an alloy, but it was to mimic silver that it doesn't tarnish.
And this was like a limousine back then.
This was a limo.
Look at that.
Hold on here. We're talking gold plating on the inside.
Nice. Even has a fancy footrest.
Footrest. It had jump seats and also heater, a floor heater.
Oh, sweet.
Silk
Oh, yeah,
shades.
they were spoiled. Back
Silk
then.
shades.
Oh, for privacy, yeah.
Oh, yeah. If Marlena didn't want people looking at her.
And this was the actress
Marlena Dietrich.
Marlena Dietrich's
Yeah.
limo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
The one thing that a lot of people go, who cares? But I always find interesting. Normally windshield wipers.
Mm-hmm.
Think of windshield wipers going like this.
Mm-hmm.
or like this from the top. This one runs in a track. So
Oh,
they go
straight across, huh?
Horizontally. But the thing is, you'd
It's
have
not very
to,
wide, is it?
no, you'd have to have something to keep crap from getting up
Falling
into there.
debris, yeah.
So, of course, this is a California car anyway, but you'd have to have some kind of a visor to keep debris from getting into
Yeah,
the,
you can see the little track it operates on.
yeah. Isn't that different?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. I like the way the headlights are morphed into the,
Yeah. Now, they didn't do all Pierce arrows that way because some states, like New York State, didn't allow you to have headlights that were that. If you think about how wide
how far
set
apart they are, yeah.
they didn't allow that. I know that New York State, I don't know if there were other states also that required, separate the headlights to be
Yeah.
closer together.
That's something you don't see as white tires nowadays.
No.
The spares, I guess the little brownish looking one is for the rear.
The reason that it's brownish is it's aging, but natural rubber is white.
hmm
So
Oh, yeah.
your early cars had white. They got away from that pretty quickly because it's also makes crappy tires.
Yeah.
This is a good
Another
example
Stearns
here where you have 10 spokes here and you've got 12 spokes in the back.
In the back, yeah.
And again, not all cars at this era, but some of them the back tire was bigger. That's another reason for having two spares.
Nice.
Two.
A lot of brass on this ride too.
Yeah, this is a brass era. 1915 is kind of it as far as brass. After that, you had nickel plating and chrome plating. So,
Nice.
but even I can't say for sure, but I think maybe even Model Ts were had brass.
Yeah, I know they have brass radiators, a lot of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now again, this is another,
These cars,
you're $3,600
Yeah.
in 1912. That's big
that's
money.
quite a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
These cars are a lot bigger than what they look like. I mean, they're a lot bigger in person than what they look like on film.
Yeah.
When you compare it to modern day cars, yeah, these were monsters, pretty much.
Now, this one had, if you had this car, if you had that kind of money, you probably had a driver.
Uh-huh.
And if you had a driver, you may have had a maid. And if there were too many kids or too many people in the family, your maid or your manservant would sit out on the running board.
Oh, yeah, right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. We call it the mother-in-law seat, but
And
it's a bad joke, I guess.
hopefully she falls off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bad
type
joke.
thing. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's actually what they did. You don't want the help riding with the family.
Mm.
So, if the whole family would fit into the back seat, because
Right.
they did have jump seats back there for kids, then the maid would sit up with the chauffeur. But if not, the maid or the butler or whoever else you had that was help would ride out on the side rather than back with the family.
Nice.
Different time.
Yeah,
Different
we're way
times.
different era.
Yeah. You're probably too young to remember Studebakers, but people my age, even younger than me, think of Studebakers as being econo boxes in the 1950s, and they went
Yeah.
out in 1964. But these are two illustrations of pretty nice, big, fancy Studebakers.
If I'm correct, I think Studebaker, didn't they merge with a couple other companies and
Oh,
form
yes, they-
AMC? American
Well,
Motors.
prior to that, yes, prior to that, Pierce Arrow was actually acquired by Studebaker, and that's where Studebaker ended up with some pretty good-looking styling, because these are two good-looking cars, really,
Oh,
for
yeah.
their era.
Oh yeah, they are.
Studebaker, Willys, Hudson, Nash,
That's right. That's right. Yes.
Packard.
They
I
all
think
got.
all of those.
Yes.
Not all at one time, but over a series of this one grabbed that one and that one grabbed that one and such, you ended up finally with American Motors. Studebaker and Packard actually, it was only the two of them at one point before they merged with the other people. I think Hudson and Nash merged. Willys stayed independent. They made the Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the Willys Jeep.
That's what most people know him as.
Yeah, and they also made the okay. I don't think Kaiser was involved at all. I think Kaiser rose and fall all on their own. But I know that Studebaker and Packard, I think it was 1958, there was one car that you could buy, and if you took a Studebaker, if you took a Packard, they were the same car. Just one said Packard, one said Studebaker. I think that was the last year that anything actually had the Packard name on it.
Yeah, Packard was really, this is a 1932 Studebaker.
Yeah. And this is really a great looking car.
Oh, it's beautiful,
Yeah.
yeah. You can see the horns were real prominent.
Pardon me?
The horns were real prominent as far as styling for the car.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like,
Now, of course, this was a high-end Studebaker, but still.
yeah,
Now, see,
beautiful.
they were limited with headlights, so to jazz it up, look, you've got an
You got
oval
oval
headlight,
shaped headlights.
you know.
Yeah.
And see, this one right here would have been, I think it was 1937 or 38 that Studebaker acquired Pierce Arrow. So then they were able
Then
to
they were putting in-
incorporate lights into the fender.
Into the fenders. Wow.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's nice.
That's a piece of trivia that you can take home.
I'm a huge car guy and I didn't know that. But yeah.
That's a dump truck.
Yep. Model T, huh? Nice.
Did you get your picture?
1964.
Now, the guy who was a designer, very famous designer actually, this was actually his limo-driven car.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Nice.
No accounting for taste.
Right.
Corvair.
Yep.
Bumped roof. And he did some other things too. That I think maybe because he lived in New York City, he didn't want anybody to steal his car.
Yep, the old Fieros.
Yep.
Sometimes, guys, when you see a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or something like that, it's actually a redressed Fiero. You can tell that it's a fake Ferrari. It's a poor man's Ferrari. You can get body kits for these and make them look like Lamborghinis. You can make them look like Ferraris. Real easy to tell because, number one, if you pop the trunk back there, you'll see the Fiero emblems all over it.
Yeah.
But another thing is, if this was a Ferrari, they're not that small. They're not that compact, you know? They got a little bit wider bodies.
I don't know much at all about sports cars, to be honest.
Yeah, a lot of guys redressed these, and it's really hard to find one that looks this good that's all original, because a lot of guys redress them and everything.
They had a tendency to catch fire too, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
The only story that I have about the Fiero is I worked outside of Philly, and we had cameras in the parking lot and all. This would have been, I don't know, I started working there in '91. This was probably mid-'90s, and somebody stole this woman's Fiero.
Oh
And
no!
The police came. She said, "I don't want the car back. I'm turning it in. I want the money for the car. I'm turning it in for insurance. I don't want that car back, even if you find it." So I guess she did not like the car.
Yeah. Remember when Saturn was their own company?
I've had two.
They were their own. They were their own company, and GM bought them out.
Well, I had a '96 Saturn, and I had a 2004. I had a long commute, 120 mile, 125 mile every day, around 60 some mile round trip. And so I had cheap cars. And first Saturn I had, the '96, gave it to I gave it to my brother-in-law. He gave it to his son. I gave it to him with the original clutch and close to 300,000 miles.
Holy!
And the kid drove it for a couple more years. The second one, the one that was a 2004, it had more accessories, and it was cheaper to buy. It was a piece of crap.
Oh no!
The 2004. And that one, the motor blew at just shy of 300,000. The motor blew.
At this point, guys, I was invited as I was already getting sort of the VIP treatment because in the previous scenes, you saw that I was up close and personal with the car. So I was behind the ropes he had this tour guide's name was Jack. He took me behind the ropes to be able to get up and close and personal with the Pierce Arrow and the Stern Knights cars there. So he offered to take me to the detail shop. And this is where the shop where they work on the cars and detail them before they're brought out and put up on display. So we got kind of a behind the scenes VIP tour of a place that not everybody gets to see. Then after I toured the shop area, guys, the executive director came out and was going to present him with a pin for 1,000 hours of service. Apparently this is a nonprofit museum. So he was going to offer him that award, and we happened to catch the executive director approaching him on film as well. So after we get this next scene, we'll cut to the scene where he's brought the pin. He was told to select whatever car he wanted, and he would be presented with the pin. We didn't film that part, but you will see the first part of it where the executive director approaches him. And then that'll be the end of our film, guys. So yeah, so let's go ahead and see behind the scenes in the detail shop, cars that we get to see before the general public gets to see them.
Any car that's on our floor, unless we're told not to clean it, anything that we have on the floor is cleaned up.
Oh.
Now, we've got, I know you're from Oklahoma, so you're not going to come back, but we've got another 15,000 square foot building down below with about another 75 to 90 cars in it.
Oh my
so
gosh.
We're always rotating stuff in and out. But you can see some of the stuff that we've got here.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful.
Some of it's beautiful, some of it's, shall we say, original, nitty gritty.
Nice. Wow. Hidden treasures
Yeah.
on display soon.
Well, this one's interesting right here. We had a thing on light duty trucks.
Mhm.
And why this one's still here, I don't know, because it's a loaner. It's actually a Plymouth made in Australia.
Oh wow.
It's got the drive on the other side, and it was actually a Plymouth pickup truck.
Yeah.
So you'd think it's a one-off, but really it was something that they made in Australia for the Australian market. So you're never going to see, unless you go to Australia, you're not going to see another one of these.
My, nice. I would have never thought this car would be in a car museum, because I used to have one. The XR7.
It's 33 years old.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I don't know if they told you or not, but any cars that the museum owns, they have been donated to the museum.
Right.
We
yeah.
don't buy anything.
Yeah, I didn't know
Okay.
that, but yeah.
Can't really see. Is the other one back here? No, it's not. We've got two brushes. One looks like this, and one looks like it just got drug out of a barn.
Yeah.
I don't know where the other one is, but
These are hard to find as well, these cars here. Early cars.
mm-hmm. Most of our cars run. All of our cars run. Maybe that's a better way of putting it. The guys can get any of our cars to run. A lot of times it's not practical.
Right.
You get it running and you break something, then you're screwed.
Oh yeah, because you're not going to find parts for it.
Find parts for a Stearns Knight.
No.
Oh, there is one back here that I think you might find interesting. It's a Woods Mobilette.
Oh, sweet.
Now, would you call this a rear engine?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
It's kind of like a mid-engine in a way, because you could have some part of the body back here, but chain-driven.
Nice. Yeah, it's all
And
changed.
this is a Woods Mobilette. It's a motorcycle bike. So it's
Oh.
basically, there was a period of time where they made small vehicles using motorcycle technology, your motorcycle.
Yeah, it is a kind of a tiny car
Yeah.
compared to
Yeah, yeah.
Compared to
this
the
one-
others.
Yeah, this one's got 2 seats. Sometimes you'll see 1 seat, then you'll see the second seat back here. This particular one, they're just offset. But again, like I said, it's kind of motorcycle technology.
nice.
Let's see what term they use. Maybe this tells us here. Cycle car.
Cycle car, okay. It's cute. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, compared to the one beside it, yeah, it's a dwarf.
This is a great saying. It's built like a watch, and ownership will not cause tuberculosis of one's wallet.
Oh,
Now, that's a real
God.
saying. That's really.
That's crazy. Cars nowadays, definitely.
I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure, but this may have been a black-owned business. No. There was a fairly famous maker in New Jersey that was a black-owned business, and they made cycle cars, but it wasn't the Woods Mobile.
Mm.
I don't think this is an old car. I think this might be a.
This is like an MG kit car or
yeah,
something.
I think it.
Yeah.
Is. Yeah, it looks like it.
It looks like one of those MGs, which are replicas, which are still awesome,
We do
but
get-
they're not
We do get oddball
genuine.
things.
Yeah.
That Mustang up there,
Yeah.
that's the one I'm thinking about.
67, I
It's
think.
got like no miles on it.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Holy
like-
crap!
Like less than 100.
Wow. Original.
Oh,
Yeah.
somebody wrote Jesus Saves on this one. That's kind of odd.
Yeah, it looks like they wrote it. They wrote
I
several.
am awesome. That's weird. I never saw it. I've never seen this car before.
Looks like they wrote it in
It
wax
looks
or
like
something.
a new donation. Doesn't even have a thing in it yet telling us about it.
Yeah, it's like around a 68 Dodge or somewhere around there.
We get various things. We've got fire engines and
Nice.
we've got a jitney bus. We've got
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of buses. Bus used to be a separate museum, and then it's awfully expensive to have a museum, so they kind of rolled their buses into part of our museum. We've got like 30-some buses.
I sure appreciate the VIP access. That's
Sure.
awesome to get to see.
You see there's some Survivor bikes here too.
Yeah. So he's getting a pin for 1,000 hours.
1,000 hours, yeah.
Not that.
He does a great job. He gave me a tour, told me all about the cars, and so he is very, very much.
We're happy to have
I
you.
enjoy it when somebody.
Yeah.
You got a 500-hour pin, now you have 1,000, next is 2,000.
I wear both, or do I have to
You just,
take
no,
some?
you just keep running them like you're in the military, just run a whole wall of
He's
batteries.
very good with customer service, guys, especially the car nerds.
So what other kind of cars do you like beside Tucker's?
Well, I mean, I love GMs,
Okay.
and I love Auburns. I don't see that you guys had one,
You don't
but
have an Auburn here.
we did. I did go to the Auburn Museum in Indiana.
That's
Oh
Auburn
my
Court
God, it's
Duesenberg.
beautiful.
It's in their dealership,
Yes.
their corporate headquarters.
Yes, beautiful place.
It's on my list.
So I got to see. Oh, you got to go.
I haven't been there.
You've got to go. But yes, thank you so much for your knowledge. I mean, he's very knowledgeable for very, very.
How about the convertible?
But-
The
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yes, the Tucker. When I did my audition, I had mentioned my bucket list of cars, and the Tucker was the number 2 on my list of cars that I would love to own, but will never be able to. It's interesting that they actually found one of the Tuckers was found abandoned along the Mississippi River in Tennessee, and it was so destroyed that it was unrecoverable. So basically, literally all that's left of it is just parts. You know, the frame, the transmission. They knew by the frame number which car it was. Interestingly, if you go to tuckerclub.org, it will list all of the Tuckers. As you can see, it lists all of the Tuckers, because all of them, we know where they're at. They're all over the place. They're in California. There's some in California, Florida, Georgia, Indiana, Michigan, Mississippi, Nebraska, Nevada, Virginia, Washington, Wisconsin, Japan, Brazil. I thought it would be really neat to actually go and visit and see each Tucker. there's 47 left in the world. That's all that's in existence. So I thought it'd be interesting to get to go see. But if you will visit this site, tuckerclub.org, and you can see the Tuckers, their numbers, they're all numbered. And if you touch any of them, if you just touch it, it will pull up a screen. Literally, that will tell you all about the car, what color the interior was supposed to be, and it will even tell you where it's at. This one happens to be in California, it looks like. So you can see this is number 1019. So yeah, it's a very interesting website to go to if you were really interested in where these cars are located. It's very interesting that although, and it wasn't so much in the film, you'll see in the film that I had filmed the pulleys which operated the third light, the pulley and cable. It's interesting, the reason why I focused in on that was because although it says do not touch, well, I had to touch it, okay? I mean, like, come on, there's not many Tuckers left in the world, and to see one right in front of me and not get to touch it. So they really watched those cars like a hawk. And when the lady went around the corner out of sight, then I leaned in and I was just rubbing all over the car like I am actually touching a Tucker, right? Well, she happened to pop back around the corner, and that's when I was focusing in on the, you know, pulleys and cables and making out like I was trying to figure out, was it for the door or, you know, type thing. Although I knew it was for the headlight. That was all for the benefit of, I don't really know if you'd call her security, but she was there to make sure that nobody fooled with the Tuckers or touched them. But I got to touch it. Yes. So I can safely say I'm one of the few people that got to touch a Tucker. Now, if I could drive one, oh my God. Yeah, that'll never happen. But wouldn't that be awesome? They are a lot bigger than what they appear. They're bigger than normal cars nowadays. Cars from the 30s and the 40s, guys, were pretty big. They made cars back then. Now we're more focused on aerodynamics and fuel economy and all of that stuff. Back then, it was just raw power. So if you've ever seen a real life original car from the 30s and, you know, the 40s, you'll notice that they are larger than normal size vehicles nowadays. So that's going to do it for this episode, guys. I know that many of you have been looking forward to the Roswell Dimensions episode that is coming up very soon. I finally got everything I needed to put the show together. It's just a matter of editing. So be looking for that very soon. See you guys on the next episode.